What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity. I hope you guys are doing well. Some big news when it comes to Call of Duty. I'm sure you guys heard of it. It's one of the biggest stories in Call of Duty over the last 24 hours. Warzone Mobile was officially announced, a bunch of details got released, and the hype train has begun. I see a lot of positive comments from this community when it comes to Warzone Mobile. So let's touch into the nitty gritty here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about my opinions on it in a second. So first and foremost, Warzone Mobile is going to launch on iOS and Android. The launch date is going to be March 21st, so like 3 weeks from now. Pretty quick turnaround. On top of that, the game is going to support controllers from day one, which is awesome for you mobile players. As great as controller support is, we care a little bit more about the content though, right? Like, what are we getting with Call of Duty Warzone Mobile? Well, you're going to get Verdansk, Rebirth Island, and 3 multiplayer maps. So with Verdansk, it's going to support up towards 120 players. Rebirth Island is going to support 48 players, very similar to the console experiences, I believe. And then you're also going to be able to enjoy Warzone Mobile multiplayer, which is going to be played on 3 maps: Shoot House, Shipment, and Scrapyard. A little disappointed that Meat and Stash House couldn't be included in this, but overall, a not bad selection of maps. I mean, I think if you were to take 3 small maps and put them into a game mode, those are 3 maps that most people in this community would pick. So those are the facts. And honestly, I'm not like over the moon about it. I don't really care that much about a mobile game, if I'm going to be completely honest. But the one thing I will note right away is that the UI certainly looks a lot better than what we have here in MW3, and it's kind of laughable just how much better the UI seems to be for Warzone Mobile versus MW3. It's something that I've talked about in the past, and I wanted to just touch on it again because even though this still isn't perfect, what you're seeing on screen, it's still better than what we have had for the last 2 years. And it's been a major sticking point with this community, and it's like, why won't you fix this? Anyways, I want to just touch on that for a quick second. This is a major move for Activision. This is a major move for Call of Duty. There is a huge market when it comes to mobile games, and they know that. Now, of course, there is a lot younger of a market in mobile games, and they, of course, know that, and they're going to try to attract that market. In addition to this, they want to establish themselves as a leader in the mobile gaming space as we move away from consoles and PCs, because, let's be honest, by the sounds of it, that's sort of what these companies want to do. I mean, Xbox has said a lot of things over the last few months that make you believe, hey, like, maybe Xbox is dying. And then you hear about PlayStation shutting down the entire London studio, and you're like, ooh, maybe Sony's not doing well either, which leaves you with just PC, which is riddled with cheaters. So I can see mobile gaming growing, and I think it's a market that is a little bit fresh for some. Like, I couldn't tell you the last game I played on mobile. It was probably like Boom Beach back in like 2016 or whatever. It's been a while. I don't really look at mobile games on my phone anymore. I'm just a little bit over that. I want to try to stay off this thing as much as possible, considering the fact that, work has me glued to it all the time. But that's neither here nor there. The focus today is Warzone Mobile, and whether or not this is a good step forward for Call of Duty. I hope so. Like, whenever a new project is announced, whenever a new area of Call of Duty is brought in to the fold, I'm always hopeful that it's going to help the franchise and that it's going to put the franchise into a new direction. But I am skeptical, man. I mean, at the end of the day, this is still an Activision-directed project. They're at the helm of this, and as we've seen over the last few years, especially this year, the incompetence has seeped through to almost everything they touch. Is the same going to be true about multiplayer, or about Warzone Mobile? Because I think it probably will be. The same type of lack of attention to detail, the same quality issues, are they going to pop up as well? I mean, most likely. And that's problematic. You're going to have people that are trying to play on their little devices and things aren't going to work as intended because they don't care about the quality. They just care about you having an avenue to spend money on. That's what this is all about. They don't want to grab this market to retain the market, to keep them, to make them loyal customers. They want this market so they can sell and shill out more microtransactions. That's all it's about. And there's a lot of money in the mobile gaming market. Like, I mean, from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense, right? You want to penetrate this market because there's a lot of money being spent on mobile games by consumers. And yeah, why would you not want to penetrate that? Good on them for trying to do something to get that audience. But again, getting the audience and getting the money, is it going to be reinvested to make the games better? Is it going to be reinvested to innovate and expand on this franchise to make it better than it once was? Or is it just going to be utilized and leveraged to pad the pockets of the shareholders? I mean, there is a path forward here where it could be mutually beneficial for everyone. Mobile players, console players, PC players, and the shareholders. But it seems that every step that Activision takes is only keeping the shareholders in mind and not the players. How can we reach a larger audience but also not put enough effort into our games so that we can get away with it? Minimal effort for maximum reward is how it's felt for the last several years, and it's been very noticeable this year. The amount of times the game has felt broken, has felt unpolished, unfinished, it's too many to count at this point in time. The game feels scripted. That's not how it should feel. It should feel like a genuine experience, and that's not what players are feeling. And this is all because Activision has led themselves into this greedy cycle where what they're prioritizing isn't user experience, it's greed. And if this is the same path they want to take Warzone Mobile down, we're going to be experiencing that same burnout, that same feeling, that same disingenuous association to Warzone Mobile as we do to the regular game. There's a reason why player numbers dip, and it's 100% to do with the actions that Activision has been taking for the last several years. I mean, even just the last couple weeks, we've noticed how little they actually care about this franchise, how little they actually care about maintaining the game in a solid state. I mean, I feel like I repeat myself constantly on this channel, but it bears repeating. It's a brutal cycle to be a part of. It's a cycle that has decided to replace consumer enjoyment and audience experience in favor for shareholder value. And I mean, we're seeing the effects of it throughout the tech industry right now, when we hold up shareholder value above anybody else and everything else. Loss of innovation, loss of jobs, loss of opportunity. All these things are not good in the grand scheme of things. But hey, I'm glad that you made more money on your investment. I'm so glad that your shareholder value has been upheld when people are going through an affordability crisis. But I don't want to get too political here. That's not what this channel's about. I want to still belittle Call of Duty as much as I can because they deserve it. I mean, they've been jerking us around for far too long, and I'm just sick and tired of it. And I'm worried that Warzone is just another avenue for them to successfully attain a larger audience, but also completely ruin that audience perception of Call of Duty because of their lack of anything spectacular. But that's my take. That's my feeling towards this. I know that it seems jaded and it might seem like it's unfair to criticize a game before it's even been released. But that's how I feel. And honestly, I don't know if there's much that's going to grip me into playing Warzone Mobile. So maybe this is the only time I ever talk about it. But that's my feelings on it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Is it something you're going to play? Is it something you're going to skip? Or do you feel like it's just one whole big Ponzi scheme that needs to fall on its behind? Because I think there's an argument for that as well. But that's it for the video today. That's all I really wanted to touch on. I know there's other stuff that we need to cover, but man, it's been a long few days. I've had to do a ton of travel for work, and I'm just ready to get to bed. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to sleep, and I'm honestly hoping that I wake up to some warmer weather. Hopefully no snow on the ground, but only time will tell. Anyways, that's it for the video today. I thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.